Hello, everybody. I am Sun Psychic Jean, and please welcome my very special co host, Ginger from gingerfae.musings. How are you, Ginger?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you, Jean?
I'm doing well, and I am very excited to read together this afternoon.
I've been
And it's
looking forward.
Friday, the
Mm-hmm.
11th of July of 2025, and
Ooh,
it is actually not a bad Friday here on the East Coast. I'm right outside of the Washington D.C. area. I live in Maryland. And I'm like one exit away from the Beltway, which is like inside DC. And how about you, Ginger? Why don't you tell everybody where you're from and where, if everybody can tell us sort of like the main city and state where you're from, that would be great. And then people would be able to learn where other people
right.
are. Where are you from,
Yeah.
Ginger?
I'm here in South Carolina. The big city here is Greenville, South Carolina. And I've learned to have to say South Carolina because apparently there's a Greenville in North Carolina as well. So anytime I traveled, I would say I'm from Greenville, and my friend would say South Carolina. I'm like, um, it's sunny, muggy, and it's pretty outside, but it's muggy. So
Yeah.
it's deceiving. When I look through my window, I want to walk outside. We had a severe thunderstorm yesterday. Expect more for the rest of my week off. It's going to be thunderstorms. So a good time to, you know, rest, reflect, and I enjoy a thunderstorm. So, where is everybody
Wonderful.
else from?
Yeah. And Donna Marie's so sweet, my two favorite readers.
Oh,
And Lois said, twice in one day, Jean and Ginger Faye. Um, Hemet, California is where
Karen.
Karen's from. You know, Karen, I would
Ooh,
not have guessed that you're a West Coaster because you're always here all the time. And I thought maybe you were on the East Coast with me because you sort of catch me all the time. You know, it's sort of hard. I know people on the West Coast, it's not as easy. You guys have to get up and do things much earlier in your day. And Donna is also Vancouver Island, Canada. I didn't know
ooh,
that, Donna. Wow. And Jem is Seattle, Washington. Maybe you guys are early risers. It's only 11 a.m. over there. It's not even noon yet.
wow.
You didn't even have lunch and you're all here. And Carolyn is from Crockett, Texas, East
East.
Texas. Very
There must
nice,
be a battle
Carolyn.
going on between East and West. She has to make sure she says East.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like on
Well,
my
it's
neighborhood. I live on the east side of Campbell, not the west side.
mhm. Well, Texas is a really big state, so it helps
Yes,
out. It
yes.
helps out. And Central Indiana for S
Oh,
Steel. That's nice. Uh, Pacucha. Oh my gosh, Kentucky. I don't know what that says.
Paducah,
Payuka. Pay,
Paducah.
yeah.
Anyway, she's from Kentucky. I've known folk in Kentucky.
Great, Lois. And hello, Miss Risa. And Sandra Dell is here. We made it to Friday, everybody. Yep.
Woohoo!
Happy Friday for sure.
I love the way you
And
put everyone.
uh-huh. And Risa, in case you missed it, I was telling everybody where I was from, and I wanted to ask everybody what their just the biggest city near them and the state. Um, you know. Uh, see, Midwest represent. Um,
Represent.
and
Hey,
hi,
Nathan.
Nathan from Miramichi, New Brunswick, Canada.
Love that.
And I starred that so I can come back to you.
Mhm.
Clearwater, Florida.
I know. We're
Beautiful.
neighbors there. We're neighbors. Well, I'm sure
Beautiful.
she's about a 10-hour drive from me, but
You guys are just putting in these funny names so I can Cooten
I know, right?
Saints.
Kootenai?
Canada.
That's funny. British Columbia.
I'm sorry. Louisville, Kentucky. I know that one. Actually,
Oh,
my mother was born in Louisville, Kentucky.
okay.
Uh, she was only there the year that she was born, and then they moved to Tennessee.
Oh,
So
okay.
we have relatives from Tennessee. Everybody like has history in Tennessee. But when my mother said she was born in Louisville, I'm like, weren't you born in Tennessee? She said, no, we moved it right after she was born. So, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So let's see. Thank you, Risa. So Karen says, you're too kind, have been very low profile lately because of a new relationship. Good for you,
Those are
Karen.
happy emojis, so that's awesome.
I hope everything's going well.
Aw.
And I have your question there, Mangled, or Miss Unicorn, if you don't mind me calling you that. And I love unicorns. My unicorn is right back here, keeping an eye on me.
I used to
Um,
have a unicorn collection, and other people broke it, so I haven't
she's
been
helping me
doing
out. Puduka is how you
Pudaka,
is
Pudu,
Puduka
Puduka,
is
Puduka,
Kentucky. Paducah?
Paducah. It's fun
Okay.
anyway.
And Sandra is
Um,
3 hours north of Spokane. Wow.
mhm.
That's really north, Sandra. You must have some beautiful weather up there. That Ginger predicted. Oh, the
Oh, the
relationship you predicted.
relationship. Oh, those are scary
So
to try to.
so accurate.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Yep, yep. My mom was
Yeah.
born there. That's right. That's right. Um, Americans spell it Kootenai. Oh, Sandra's on the
Okay.
American side still, even though it's 3 hours north of Spokane.
Oh,
Spokane.
interesting.
I don't know. You can say it all different ways, you
Mm.
guys. Oh, good. I pronounced it correctly. Thank you. That's a lucky guess. Okay. Oh my gosh. Sandra said her granddaughter's cake was a unicorn.
Oh.
You start them young, Sandra. Start them young. Keep them believing, right? And I'm just doing this so that everybody can get your questions in. We're doing questions, or you can ask for readings for your spirit guides, angels, ancestors, fairies, and they're the type of readings. You can do a general reading, but just let us know what area of life, if it's work or if it's love or if it's spiritual, that you want to know if it's a general reading. And please use caps and emojis. And there's a lot of you I already have, but we're just saying hello while we're waiting for everybody to get your questions in. Edward is back. Hi.
Hi,
He says,
Edward.
afternoon, Jean and Ginger, and all in the chat. And Sandra said her granddaughter was 3 and wanted to eat his eye. Aw,
I love it.
aw. And then, so Carolyn said she wants a general reading. And so when you ask for a general reading, just so you know, there's nothing wrong with it. It'll probably be more of like spirit guide led, unless you say general reading on if I'm going to move, or general reading about my job or my employment, or general reading about, whatever, if I'm
What's
going to have
coming
a
my
baby,
way? Yeah.
whatever it is. But, just give us like a night, because if not, it's just going to be really general back. Um, and I'm very much question driven, question oriented. So I can't, yeah,
It helps.
yeah. Okay, Lois, I understand. Okay, thank you, Carolyn. Okay, Edward. And I think we're going to get started. Yeah, unicorn. I gotta love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, you guys, just so you know, and any moderators who are here, I'm just going to turn off this banner because it does sort of bother me. The motion of it bothers me, and we are going to get started. So if I call your name, please let me know that you're here. And I have Jem, 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 and then S Steele. So Jem, you're first, and just say hello. And I know you guys are here, but just it helps. Thank you, Risa. Thank you, everybody, for putting your questions in and for letting me know where in the world you are and all those West Coasters. And Jem says, "Hi, Jean and Ginger." She
Hello.
just making sure she's still here. Jem, just say hello or put. You can type any letter and then let us know that you're still here.
Say hi. That's good enough.
Mhm.
So
Hi, Pixie. Thanks for coming. Okay, Jem's here. Thank you, Jem. I appreciate that. Should I take the garden spot offered to me? I can't decide. Maybe too much for me. I'm going to use my pendulum.
I like that picture too.
Hmm. So I'm getting an affirmative, and that means yes. And when I was tuning in, it also said you can either ask for help or just use what you do the best you can, use as much as you can, do as much as you can. And like if you already have a garden spot and you just need potatoes, like, something easy, or garlic or onions, something just like one or two crops or one or two things. Nothing like beans. Like beans, you have to pick every single day and you would have to be out there and you would have to keep picking them and you would have to, or lettuce,
That's good
that
to
kind of stuff.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have to keep up and keep after and, tend to them and water them like tomatoes, you have to keep a real close eye on. But onions and carrots and potatoes, like under the ground, you just plant them and you let them go, and at the end of the season, you just dig them up and see what you have. So maybe consider that, Jem, even if you have carrots somewhere else, and just share them with people,
Mhm.
or flowers, But I got a yes. How about you, Miss Ginger?
Yes, I was going to say, just because you have the whole spot, you don't, as Jean said, you don't have to utilize the whole spot. And flowers is perfect, or even um, boxwood, a couple boxwoods, like to corner them and then grow whatever in between. But I have all kinds of yes here for you. I got the flowers. So, um, yeah, so this is going to be it can be a little sanctuary for yourself. And as I was shuffling, I was actually seeing that if you plant if you plant fairies, plant some fairies while you're at it. I saw a little fae being peeking around one of the stalks of something that you're planting, and just excited about what you're going to be planting there. So that's creating a foundation for the elementals. So whatever you decide to plant. Um, and then I got this card too. So also put out like a statue of some sort, some statuary. You can even put a little fairy home out there, but something that represents abundance for you. And just as you're gardening, it's going to open up to so much more. It's a meditative thing, so it's going to open you up to the elements. And then I got create harmony. So there's the fish thing again. So there's something about a fish. You can get maybe a little statue of a koi fish, or put in a makeshift pond that, just it's the intention, something for the fades to play in. And yeah, it's going to create harmony. So it's a big yes for me, Jem. Harmony with
Beautiful.
Mother Earth. What were you going to say, Jean?
I just said beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh,
And when I went, I got a labyrinth, if that's,
labyrinth?
build, yeah, build something that is going to support you and your energy, where you can sit like Ginger said, and be one and meditate and, cultivate and be around the flowers, do something really simple,
A
really
little
gentle.
bench for yourself.
Uh-huh. Yep.
One of those little cement benches, because you don't want somebody to carry it off. But it's somewhere for you to sit and
Yeah,
enjoy your
yeah.
creation.
She's like, fairies, oh my. Very helpful suggestions. Oh, mangled unicorn like a cat statue. A lucky cat.
The little kinds that
Wow.
in the Chinese restaurants go like this.
And just visiting is here, so nice to see you.
Hi.
And
Haven't
Leona
seen them.
is here. Thank you for coming. Nice to see you. Divine Universe. Thank you all for popping in. And
Love it.
thanks for being here. So, next, thank you, Jen, for your question. Next is S. Steele. After S. Steele is Nathan. Um, so, to say hello, I think she's here. Leona is a member for 2 months. Thank you very much, Leona. That
Oh,
was very sweet of you. Um, I hope you'll have to go back and watch the members only show I did earlier today. It was fun. Uh
oh, that's how she caught you twice in one day.
huh. S Steele, if you're still here, say hello. If not, we'll go on to
Excellent.
Nathan.
Okay. Oh man, I got my animal cards out and everything.
Yep, she's here. So she
Okay.
said, my dog has become drastically sicker in the last 4 days. Is there anything he wants me to know or anything else I can do for him? I've already taken him to the vet multiple times this year. Oh, this is so difficult, Estiel.
Mm,
It is the hardest to watch them suffer and to watch them decline in that way and to not know how it is that they're feeling. Is he eating? Because if he's eating and, I don't want, and what they do after they eat, like is he able to digest and, you know, eat and poop and sleep is the most important thing. If these things are continuing, if he's eating, then he's managing and he's doing better than he might look. If he's not eating, then it could be closer to the end. And if he's not pooping, then it's probably, you know, very
another sign.
near.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um, Hunt, eat, and sleep, but not, I don't know what, okay. Um, oh, that mangled unicorn is saying that, sorry. So digest, okay, yep, digestive always shuts down first, yeah. Yeah, but he might be moping and he might be lethargic. He might be not feeling well, like his stomach might be upset. Yes, it's been heartbreaking. She says earlier in the week he would eat and throw up. He's now holding down boiled chicken and rice. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing that. And that's what I want, and it feels like he's going through something and I do almost feel like it's about his liver. I don't know why. It's the first thing that came um, to my mind, but I do. I mean, I think he has some time. I don't know if you have like a heated blanket, and I know that it's hot, but just something that would help to soothe and um, relax him. And I don't know if you have. I don't. You can ask your doctor if there's any kind of like calming things for your dog. I don't know what if there's anything like I know that dogs don't drink chamomile tea, but something that would just like sort of soothe him a little bit so that he can rest while he's I feel like he is fighting and I do feel as though he's doing well. As long as he's eating and pooping, that's a good sign. But I know it's really hard to watch him go through that. Um, but all the best to you. What did you get there, Ginger? Hopefully you got
Yeah.
something.
Well, I feel, and I could relate, because I recently lost my second hound, his my other hound's brother, And he would go through those stages for months, so he could have a few months even, where they do eat for you, and they, and they're just rest, and then they'll go again with they don't want to eat anything. But the one thing he did want to eat was people food. He didn't want the canned food. He wanted, and what you said was the chicken broth. So that was very helpful to him. But I do feel like uh, he's in the stages of passing. But this could last again. It could last months, and so what you're to do is just to make every moment. So I drew this card, and I'm not going to read what the card says because for me, this elephant is the energy of memory. Elephants have such awesome memories, and they're very loving and very protective over their young. So just making things comfortable for him as long as you can, making memories still. He feels your devotion. He will always have that energy with him, and he wants you to carry that same energy. And then also play. There's a um, make your energy happy around him. Try not to give into the oh poor puppy thing. They want to still be playful. They might not have the energy, but still talk like he's very active and stuff like this. But this one says swim in the happy joy of living. Inhale confidence, exhale fear. So this is going with the flow. So do the best you can to make him comfortable and still have good memories with him. And but yeah, I still feel a few months still. Yeah. So that's what I
She
have for you today.
says, "That makes me feel good. I want him to know he is so very loved." Just let him
Mm,
know everything's going to be all right, that he's going to be all right, and that you're going to be all right, and that everything's going to be all right. And
exactly.
yeah, and be supportive in whatever way he feels. You want to lay down? That's okay. You don't want to eat today? That's okay. You know, and
Coax
it's
them
not.
outside as often as you can. Sorry.
Oh, take him outside as often.
Yeah, the sun, the of course not the dead heat and the shade and stuff, but the sun's vitamin and the energies, even if they have no energy, is very good for them.
Yeah, yeah. So sorry, Estiel. That is just some of the hardest to deal with.
Mhm.
I tell you. Oh my gosh, it is just brutal. It's. I think it's teaching us something. I don't know what it's teaching us, but oh my gosh, it's a hard lesson. All right,
Mm.
Nathan says that he is here, and Mangled Unicorn, you are next. And Mangled Unicorn, I actually did do see you commenting, so that's fine. Um, And I just want to say, um, yeah, I'll stop there. All right. So Nathan is now, and Mangled Unicorn is after Nathan. Yep. Yep. And here, just visiting said, agree. He's watching you to see your reaction to things. So if you can be calm, it's very helpful to him. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. Oof. Thank you. There's so many helpful suggestions in the chat, and this is what I love so much about this community is everybody's so sweet and
And support. Mm.
helpful. So Nathan says, "Hey, I'm from Miramachi, New Brunswick, Canada. May I
Mhm.
please find out if I had any past lives or connections to Lemuria?" So what I like to say in this instance, Nathan, is that the answer to your question is in the question. So if you are drawn to wonder if it is more likely that you are connected to. And I know that you're looking for validation. Hi, Isha and Kiba and Donna Marie. I don't know if I said hi to you guys. Um, so let me check. Is does Nathan Sipley, does Nathan have past lives connected to Lemuria? And that is a pretty certain and forceful swing here. That's my yes. I'm sorry you guys can't see me. Maybe I'll switch. I'll have to switch like this. I'll do this so that you guys can see. So is Nathan connected? Does Nathan have a past life that is connected to Lemuria? And that is a strong yes. Does it was Nathan actually ever living in Lemuria in a past life? Was he actually living in Lemuria? Was he actually there? Yes. And that's was he a human aspect living? No. Oh my gosh. Was he an ET living in Lemuria? Was his soul ever an ET or an off-planet being living
Wow.
in Lemuria? Look at that. Yes. Oh my gosh, that is the strongest one yet. After all of them, it's saying yes. This was one of your ET experiences.
Wow.
Look at how crazy this thing is going.
Right.
Oh my gosh. And I don't know why I said was he human there. Um, um, is this important for Nathan to research and to find out more about in this lifetime? Is it important? Yes. And is there information that he might be able to use or utilize or contact? Is there information that he can use from his past life in this lifetime? Yes. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. That is interesting, Nathan. Wow. That's amazing. How about you, Miss Ginger?
Okay, so I asked about the connection, the energy between Nathan and Lemuria, and I got this card here, which is kind of like a celebration, a resounding yes. Um, yeah, so that's just the yes card for me, and it's almost a celebration that you are now recognizing and perhaps remembering on a soul level. And so and things may happen as messages through your dreams, as you're trying to discover and connect with these energies. I asked what was your role or what was your energy on that in that realm, and this card for me is um, someone from the ethereal realm that passes on messages to others, sending like you might have sending. Let's see, how can I say this? Um, Sending, let's because it's not angels, but sending beings or elementals to assist other people in Lemuria, is how I'm seeing this. So you're almost the head of the messengers kind of thing, sending them down, and helping and assisting people, from yeah, so that's from an ethereal realm for me. And then a message to you, is interesting enough, it's a message of staying balanced. So don't get lost in trying to find that other world. Keep your feet planted on the ground. um, and with the two frogs here, it's abundance. So abundance of information, I think, is going to start coming your way, and it's very important to stay balanced with that information. Again, don't get lost in it. Remember that you're still on this earthly realm. So keeping your balance, keeping well grounded, um, um, being grounded is very important while you're trying to delve into this, let's say, mystery, for yourself, Nathan. So um, and just she's in a kind of a prayer to, so asking for assistance in retaining some of this information, this knowledge that's going to help you in this 3D world today. So that's what I have for you, Nathan.
Beautiful, beautiful. And just visiting says we are not fully living in a physical bodies yet then. We were ethereal and we didn't have human bodies yet, according to Edgar
Oh, Edward.
Casey. So,
Wow.
Ginger, you are spot on. And honestly, I had
Wow.
no idea
I'm
why
getting
I
chilly.
said, "Were you human?" I didn't know. For me to say, "Were you human?" I was like, "Why am I asking that?" It just came flying out of my mouth.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
and then when it said ET and that thing, I mean, you never know. That's why it's important to ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. But Nathan, if you're interested in diving deep further, I think it would really be a really fun and exciting private reading. So I do offer 15-minute, 30-minute private readings, and my prices are affordable if I do say so myself. If you're interested, please do connect with me. I just had another recent past life reading with a woman, and it blew my socks off. I couldn't stop thinking about it for days. I'll tell you at the end, so I don't interrupt the flow here. E.T.,
Love
Lemuria, Hermes, Brad. So Nathan says, "Oh my gingerfae and Sun Psychic Jean, thank you so much for this reading and advice. I'm integrating past lives at this time and will stay grounded." That's
Very
right.
important. Very important.
Artsy Girl Marilyn is here. Nice to see you, Artsy Girl. Thanks for coming. Aw, and just visiting said you both are
Aw,
spot on.
thank you.
Aw.
Mm,
Yep, just a suggestion if you're interested, Nathan. Just wanted to let you know that we can deep dive deeper into that, and remind me
mm-hmm.
at the end of
It
the
would be
show.
fun. It would be
Um, I'll,
fun.
I'll tell you a little story about the recent one. Mangled Unicorn is next, and after Unicorn, Miss Unicorn, I'm going to call her. Donna Marie, if you're still here, say hello. You'll be after Miss Unicorn. So, can spirits suggest anything for me to hear them better as far as a ritual to get into hearing them? My claircog is showing more to me, claircognizance is
Mm-hmm.
showing more to me, but it's sporadic. And any way to know my main guide, okay, my main guide's names. Um, You know, I sympathize with you, Miss Unicorn, because I too, I think one of my weaker senses, Claire's, or is my Claire audience, because I don't really hear anything. Mine is Claire cognizance, just like what you said. I hear things like it's almost like telepathic. Like I hear what they want me to say. I don't actually hear. The only time my clear audience comes in is when there's songs, or if there's bells, or if there's something that needs to catch my attention, um, and it's usually outside of me. But no, sometimes when you have, it's hard to, it's very intertwined, that like you could hear a train whistle and have a claircognizant, but not actually hear the whistle, but understand that there's a train that has a whistle. I don't know how to describe it. Like it's sort of like it's the whole situation, or the whole idea is there, but it's not like I hear a train whistle and then I look around to see, oh, it's a train. Like it's not the whistle that I hear first. And I think if it was clairaudience, it's the whistle that you would hear first, and then you would realize it's a train, and then you would realize the rest. But claircognizant, I think, is quite all encompassing of all of these. I love asking for songs. I love asking for bells. I love asking for validation or communication. Ask them for communication that you can hear, and you may not hear it outside of you, but you'll hear a sound, and it may be outside, like subjective. No, Objective is outside. O for O. Objective is sound outside. Subjective is sound inside. So if you hear a train whistle and you don't get anything else, that's your clairaudience. But we might dismiss that, or we might ignore that, or we may hear a bell, like you know how, like if you have a kitchen timer, and the bell goes ding, and it only happens once, and you're like, I just heard something. What did I? And then we like, oh well, it didn't happen again. I'm not paying attention to it. So it's important for you to pay attention to it as well. You can ask for, while I'm in the shower, could you please let me know, send me some audible messages or clues. And also, sometimes they're actually ringing my ears, like that tinnitus. Everybody has tinnitus, but then
Mhm.
your ears actually perk up. They said, listen to that. That is not just tinnitus. When it gets louder or more in one ear than the other, or it sort of blanks out your entire hearing, like it's almost like you go deaf because of the sound, that is also frequencies. So there's just some. Oh yeah, no, Miss Unicorn, I have heard
Yeah,
my name being called for sure. That is, don't even say I swear. Say I have.
yeah.
I have heard my name called. I know somebody called my name. Nobody was in the room. I heard somebody in the room. I opened my eyes and there was nobody there. And I know for a fact, outside of like objectively, somebody called my name. And that is your spirit guides, making sure that you recognize them, that you hear them, that they are able to contact you, that in case of an emergency, they say, don't go down that street, stop, or, go around or whatever. A lot of people um, say that they've had directions suddenly, like put on the brakes or move out of that lane, and they
Mhm.
just do it. But this is our angels and guides helping us. She said she gets songs from in your head all the time. That's your
Mhm.
clairaudience. That's It's your clairaudience. It just is. But we expect it to be so much like our human hearing that it's hard to distinguish. And she says she knows it's her dad.
Yeah.
um I know. um yep. All right, so let me just go back to, there it is.
Mhm.
Ginger. Miss
Mhm.
Ginger has a lot of insight to offer. How about you, Miss Ginger?
Well, much of the same advice. I'd learned difference claircognizance versus clairaudience is my angels and guides speak to me through claircognizance, where you're hearing your thoughts, you know, and um, it has saved my life literally before. And then I've had the clairaudience where a spirit has spoken and I hear it in the room. For me, that's clairaudience, is when you could hear a disembodied uh, voice in a room setting, so to speak, the outside. We'll call it the outside voice and stuff. But I pulled some cards anyways because I could. My advice was much the same as Jean's here. So paying attention to the small details. When a sudden thought comes out of nowhere, for me, that's guides talking to you, directing you, and stuff. So anyways, so it's I'm gonna read this, but it's not what I'm fully getting. But know that sometimes this is card of duality. Sometimes we misunderstand what we think we heard, and this is why we need to be more specific in our words of how we're asking for something. Because you ask in a general way, something happens. I can't think of something off the top of my head. I'm like, but I asked for, and I'm like, oh, I asked for this to happen, And that did, but it didn't happen specifically the way I was thinking because I didn't ask for it that way. So do know that you have to be specific when we're asking for signs and synchronicities. Um, but in here, as far as ritual is how I'm going to go with this card. Lighting a candle, sitting still somewhere. I mean, it doesn't even have to be in the dark, but sometimes just lighting a candle and staring into the flame gets you enthralled into that moment. Because if we have that monkey mind when we're thinking of our to-do list and that creeps in, that's okay, it happens. But this is about you taking some time connecting, just sitting still and asking for them to communicate you in the way that it is working with your strongest clair. And then of course, researching, you know um, and then I got Circle of Eternal Joy, Timelessness, Dance of Life. Okay. Um, the more we do things to distract from the day to day, sometimes listening to music, sometimes we don't listen to the words anymore because we're listening to the rhythm. Um, Anything that gets you to stop thinking and just being and going with the flow of the energies that are surrounding you opens a portal and messages start coming through. So don't expect to just, sit, meditate, and start thinking, I'm asking for this, I'm asking for this, because I do this. um, just ask once and then breathe into it and let it come to you in synchronicities and messages throughout the day, the week, and you'll start recognizing patterns. And so I got this card. So you're on the right track. Things are going to start happening for you. The abundance of the messages will start flowing, but you have to be in that flowing energy and not trying to control it. So if that makes sense, um, that's what the cards say.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Ginger. Nice
Yes,
job.
ma'am.
Nice job. Thank you, Mangled Unicorn. You're doing such a good job. I'm so really happy for you and for everybody. This is the time. This is the place. This is when it's important for us to recognize our gifts and to practice with them and to exercise with them. Um,
Can I
and
tell a quick story?
oh, please, yeah.
Okay, so and this is how minute things can be. So menial. Last weekend, my sons and I went to a flea market, and it was so hot. I'm like, why didn't I bring? I thought it was indoors, and I thought I didn't put up my hair. I'm dying, just like, and on the way to go get lunch, I'm like, if I just had a hairband, I'll be fine. I mean, because I was starting to be ill because of the heat. If I could just have a hairband, and I'm looking everywhere. I always keep a hairband somewhere. Couldn't find one. And I'm thinking as I'm driving, I had this thought, what if I find one on the ground? Oh, it might have lice. Ew, okay, I am so hot and uncomfortable. I don't care. I'm going to put it, you know. And then I dismissed that because I wouldn't do that. Anyways, as we were walking along the path to go into the restaurant, in front of me on the path, a clean blue hairband was there. I picked it up and put it in my hair. Your guides listen to you. They do little things for you. So when you start recognizing the little things, the bigger things come naturally. So
That is amazing.
must
And
forward.
I'm telling you, the signs and synchronicities are just running rampant right now for me too. And they do ebb and flow. They certainly do. But I'm really feeling
Mm-hmm.
supercharged and led for sure. She says, awesome sauce, rad ginger. That's funny. Do you have a teenager or a millennial you hang around? Aw. And Gina M is here. Hi, Gina. She says, Yippee, Ginger. I know. We all love to see Ginger. And she's out in the daylight. She usually likes to go in under the moonlight. You're
I'm a moon
a
child.
night owl. A night owl. You flourish at night. Hmm. So Sandra says I picked up hair bands too off the ground. Hmm. But the exact one that she asked for, right? That is, it is just, it's blowing my mind how they're listening specifically. And they're just letting us know. So Donna Marie says she's here, and Lois says she's here. And so Donna Marie is here after Donna is Lois. May I please ask Spirit, am I on the right path? I stepped away from a collective to do my channel without ties to them.
I just heard, oh yeah, good. That's a good thing. It was a yay.
Let me just check. Let me just tune in with you, Miss Donna. And yes, you are definitely on the right path. There's no, but stepping away from a collective. So I think that's where you were led to do that. Like this is where they're leading you. And if you've made the decision, it's important to go with the flow and try not to second guess yourself, because that's when we get into that analysis paralysis. If you were led to start your YouTube channel without ties to them, then that's where you need to be right now. Doesn't mean that they'll never come back in or that you'll never connect to them off the channel. But this is what if you made the decision to do that, you were obviously led to do it. And I know sometimes I doubt my decisions, she says. I understand that. And that's why, but that's why they want us to give them the benefit of the doubt, go with the flow, open up our awareness, and trust that if we were led to do this and we did this, that this is what it was meant to be. And that if it wasn't meant to be, then the collective would jump back in, and the collective would say, would, create some way that you're not able to do your YouTube channel. If it's working for you and it's something that you enjoy, then that's where you were led. And I understand that you had a strong connection with the collective, and from what I can pick up from your energy, and that it's a loss or a longing for that reliability. I think that maybe they were just, I don't know, maybe they thought you were relying on them too heavily or too much, and said it's time for you to start trusting yourself. It's time for you to start building your own power, and not relying on our power. And this is one way for you to exercise that, but it's also a way for you to exercise your ego or analytical self in the spiritual realm. It's almost like they want you to gain that balance. And it's not easy. I felt that because I wanted to be in the spiritual realm, nowhere else. I didn't want to read any chat. No offense, everybody. I didn't want to ask for questions. I didn't want to, advertise or talk about myself or say book a reading with me. I didn't want to have any of that. I just wanted to read. I just wanted to connect to the amazing, information in the spiritual realms all the time. But my spirit guide said that's not going to benefit your human, and it's not going to benefit humanity if you leave this realm and stay in that realm. And they say you need to integrate. You need to have these two both hand in hand. You need to do both. You need to do the advertising. You need to do the, all of the technical stuff. No matter if it's, but I loved being in that zone all the time. I used to have somebody I worked with for a couple of years, and I would be able to go into my altered state of consciousness. They would read me questions, and I would get such amazing, deep answers. But and now I'm not as deep because I need to stay aware or focused on this reality. But it's something important that my human I need to integrate this with my human so that now when I'm out and about, I can connect to my spirit guides, even though I'm in this human or in this 3D realm, so to speak. I can connect. It helps both ways. Not only that when I'm doing readings that I can read the chat and understand, but when I'm out and I'm driving or I'm at an event, I can tune into my spirit guides. I don't have to be in this altered state of consciousness or this
Right.
dark, candle lit area. It helps both ways. So just consider that. How about you, Miss Ginger?
I love that. Yeah. And it's funny because I was running behind because I'm so enthralled in cleaning and organizing. And I thought, oh my God, do I have time to even meditate? I'm like, you know, I thought, you don't have to always sit and meditate to connect. You could just connect. It doesn't have to be a ritual. And so I'm like, like they were saying, Ginger, really, we got you. But to answer your question on your right path and stepping away, Donna Marie, I got the Eight of Cups, which is literally stepping away from things that do not serve you, and moving towards your purpose. And I love this image because, first of all, teacups. I'm all about teacups and little flowers. And she's letting her what makes her feel good, what brings her joy, carry her away. And she's going with the flow. She's letting spirit lead her. She's not driving. She's not controlling. She's just letting it all take her where she needs to go for and towards her purpose. So there's that confirmation for you there, Donna Marie. And then I got the Queen of Pentacles. So um, one of my she is my favorite queen. Okay. Because she's still grounded, she's still down to earth, yet she has these connections with the otherworldly beings, the elementals, the ethereal realm, with Mother Gaia. She knows how to connect with Earth's energy, and I feel like there's a connection there for you, connecting with Gaia and being helping being Earth healer. But in here, it's a sunflower. So reaching for the sky, reaching high. So being a queen is being in that, the energy of beauty, grace, confidence, and that inner knowing, and letting the world around her, the nature, the ethereal realm, help guide her. And then I asked, what energy should you embody right now? And I've got soul radiance. And this says Phoenix rising. So you are on a new path. You are on the path you're meant to be on. And this is a renewed self for you. And it's going to be an amazing feeling, these new energies that are going to be flowing through you, and the new energies you're going to emanate and be able to share with the world, Donna Marie. So that's what I have for you today. It's beautiful, beautiful energy. Almost like Isis.
I
You have a
love that.
past life with
Mhm.
Isis?
Yep, yep. That is spot on there, Ginger. Well
Oh.
done. Thank you, Miss Donna Marie. You always bring it when you come and ask your questions.
Mm.
So Miss Lois is next. After Lois is Edward, and then Pixie 5280. So each of you, if you don't mind saying hello, and we'll see what kind of time we have left. But Edward and Pixie 5280. So just say hello. So Lois, I like your new icon. She says, I had life-changing event a month ago. Can my guides tell me how soon we will find permanent housing? Oh my gosh. So sorry, Lois.
Mm.
Hello, Miss Fatima, and thank you, Edward.
Fatima.
Lois, have you thought about a tiny home? Have you thought about, like you say, permanent housing, but I do see something a little more temporary, but it's a little more that you choose. Uh, like I think it's a rental of a home, um, and I guess that means permanent housing. But you may even rent like a tiny home of some sort. Um, will will Lois? Let me just ask a crazy question here. Let me make sure y'all can see me. Let me ask uh, a crazy question because I like to start with will Lois ever find permanent housing? Yes, you will. So rest assured there. Will Lois be able to find permanent housing by December 31st of 25? You know what? It doesn't looks like you're still in that semi-permanent. Will Lois be still in a semi-permanent? I get it. Will Lois be renting? No. Will Lois be living with family? Looks like you're going to be semi-permanent, living with family, or living in a family. Is she living in a family's home? Is she living in a family's second home? Are you living in somebody's second home? Is there somebody that has like a second home or a vacation house or some place where you're able to lean on friends or family in order to live or rent from them while until you can find something? Will Lois find more permanent housing by March 1st of 2026? Yes, for sure. That's a definite. Will Lois find permanent housing by February 1st of 2026? And that's a definite. So it looks like you're going to be renting something or going into something for the first of the year. Will Lois be find permanent housing by the 1st of January 2026? And it's saying yes. So it looks like the first of the year is when you're going to be starting. Will Lois find permanent housing by December 1st of 2025? And it changes over to no. So you may be, I see you, somebody has a second home, vacation home, or house sharing, or if they're down the in Florida right now and you can live in their home, or I forget where you said you were, you're from Kentucky, something of this sort that you're able to, or maybe you can do like an extended contract with an Airbnb and find some place that you can stay for the next couple of months. I have a friend of mine who was in between homes who did a found an Airbnb, liked it so much, then she made a an offer or a contract or a scenario that, hey, look, if I can stay here for the next 5 months until my house is finished, will can we work something out? I see something like this, like it's in your control, it's not permanent, but you're able to, manage it and work with it. But I see that by the first of the year, because I asked for January 1st, it said yes, permanent housing. So you're going to be in something stable, and it may be, how they say a year lease. Well, it happens to be starting on January 1st. I asked for December 1st, and it said no. I'm sorry. And that's a long time from now. I understand 6 months is a long time to live in somebody else's house, have your things in storage, have your life upended, not knowing where you're going to be. But trust in the divine timing, and trust that you'll know when it's time. you know and you want to find something that you're going to stay in. But I know that must be so difficult to be in limbo, almost like living out of your suitcase all the time. It's not easy. So how about you, Miss Ginger?
Yeah, my cards. also really speak to divine timing. I got this card here, and it's almost like you will be led to the place that's meant for you. And in this image, I feel that these two beings are very timid, very unsure. Do we follow this, angel? It's about using your intuition in finding a place and entrusting, speaking to your guides, asking them to help you find the place that is meant to be your forever home. And and then I got this card as well that I'm going to cover the words because that's not what I'm seeing. Um, for those of you who don't know, a lot of times I read the images and not the words on the card. So for me, it's like you will. I can't say when, but you will, and it will be the perfect place for you. And you will know when you see the right one. You'll be drawn to it for sure. And just for giggles, I have a timing um, thing, and you know, it, it's just a funny thing. It says some girls are just born uh, with hippie souls, and it said May. So that doesn't mean you won't find anything in January. It's just for fun. I just pulled it for fun. But maybe May of next year is when you'll finally feel that freedom, So there may be some challenges finding that new home and finding a new home, and but it'll take a while to settle in and go through the paperwork and stuff like that. But I feel like maybe by next May you'll be so happy and feel your freedom and perhaps go on a trip, trip like a long car ride trip, like they did in the hippie days. But yeah, so that's what I have for you, Lois.
Yeah, and that May is the fifth month, and in 5 months from now is January 1st. Believe it or not, you guys, enjoy the heat while you have it.
Right?
All the best to you, Miss Lois, and thank
Yeah.
you very much for being here. Edward Kenneth is here, and Ginger, do you mind putting in the chat what your availability is in the? I'm sorry, in the private chat. Um, we have. Uh, We have two more after Edward. I just wanted to make sure I'm not running into any of your uh, plans there. Edward said guidance from spirit guides, and he said he is here. So, okay. So Pixie 5280 and Leona, please say hello. Aw, Edward wants to select another person. Aw.
What?
He said pick somebody else so that they have time. So is Pixie here or Leona?
I have my cards ready here.
That's so sweet of you, Edward. I think Edward got, oh, Pixie's here. Good. I think Edward got a message from somebody else's reading. you know? You're like, what? All right. And Pixie is here, so she'll be next. And Leona, if you're still here. Okay. So Pixie says, first time here. Oh, wow. Any messages
Hello.
from my guides? Do I have fairies, pixies around me? Of course. Wow. Thank you, Gina. So I see a Rolodex. One of the round ones. Remember the ones that used to, I mean, I know that they're not the one, not the flat one where you go like this. It's the round one where you would pick something up and let it fall back. So I'm not sure if
Right.
you have a calendar or anything like that that has that's on like a ring. And I do feel as though you have like a cycle that goes around and comes around, and things that you revisit. Um, I do feel as though you want to be more immersed in your spiritual practice, but it's hard doing it on your own. Like you almost don't have the initiative because you would rather relax and watch some TV. No judgment there. Um, but, like it's almost like you don't have the initiative. You have the desire, you have the love and the wonder, but the initiative to get it started. And um, you love the fairies, you love the pixies, you love, you have all the decor and oracle cards, and um, you may even have a garden where you visit them. But for you to um, grow in that awareness and in that ability and to connect. I feel like you do have a longing to connect. And you're not only looking for fairies and pixies, you're looking for your higher self. You're looking to get in touch with your authentic self, your true higher self. Um, and this is where it's like an oxymoron for you, Miss Pixie. She says, "Aha, that makes sense." But I feel as though, in one regard, you're extremely passionate and motivated. Yet, in another regard, if you have nothing around you for you to initiate this on your own, it's not, for some reason, you don't understand why this is not something that you do more often for yourself. Um, and they want you to know that not to be so hard on yourself, that they understand that you being human is your first priority. And try not to judge or second guess or criticize yourself in that respect. Does Pixie 5280 have fairies around her? Yes, very much. Does Pixie 52, it's almost like they live with you. They work with you. Like they're always with you. And it's like the little magic that you find around you. Whatever crafts, whatever, even if you make tea, or even if whatever it is that you like to do that's organic, that's natural, that's life affirming and supportive. And even if you grow herbs in your window garden, they're there. They're with you. They're very tolerant. They're very patient. And try not to, uh, you know, criticize or condemn yourself for not being 100% all the time. And they say, plan a day, like put yourself in your own calendar. Plan a day that for 15 minutes you're going to look at a picture of fairies, or you're going to look at a picture of flowers, or you're going to look at a picture of natural herbs, and just ask, is there anything you want to say to me? And suppose that the fairies are there, connecting with you. And then maybe just for 15 minutes focus on this and ask. And then when you're having a cup of tea or something, and say, when I'm finished my cup of tea, anything after that, I'll understand that it's a sign or synchronicity from you. And just get the reassurance that they're there. I don't think that there's no thunder and lightning. There's no, knock at the front door. It's very subtle. They're always around you. So that's what I have to say. So she says, I feel like I'm trying. However, uh, I get signs when I ask in very funny ways. They do. They like us to be playful. They like us to be, childlike. And just, I know that that's just your description is trying, but what they say is it's not try, it's allow. So when you're
Okay.
ready and you want to sip your
Mhm.
tea and ask them, allow. Don't try. Don't concentrate. Don't. It's that's the ego part. Try the is or allow is more creative. You know, maybe even like doodle. That's really anything to get yourself out of that analytical mind, doodling or something like that. Making tea. I like. I can see you working with those herbs. How about you, Miss Ginger?
And I just got to get a bowl of crystals because they love to play in crystals. At least mine do. I'll get woken up in the middle of the night and I hear these crystals moving, and I have them inside of a crystal bowl. Actually, one of those clear crystal bowls. But yeah, so leaving something for them to play with is a thing as well. So my first card, when I look at it, this is a earthly card. She's a page of pentacles. So you being a beginner in the energy of connecting with the fairies, as Jean said, they're all around you. All these little sparkles, all these little pixies, they're all around you, and they're all around the land. So the more you spend time out in nature, the more that your energy is going to connect with their energy. But as Jean says, the key word there was allow. You say, I allow your energy to connect with my energy, and start. That's a great starting point. So I asked for messages from the Fae, and I'm going to read these two kind of together. So I have this here. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a card of challenges. But I also had a feeling that you are also a beacon of light, even though you feel you may be in a place of challenge and you need to look for the beacon of. Oh my gosh! I'm gonna get to the other card later because this card says follow the light. So, but this card, if you're in challenging times, this next card says um, change old patterns. So, but again, you have the elementals around you. Right here, they're in the form of lunar moths. So, rituals under the moon. I feel like fairies love to play under the full moonlight. So, if you have a garden, sit in the under the full moonlight. But they're asking you if you feel like you're being restricted somehow in some way in life, just reflect on your life and your patterns and change. Um, I can't tell you what to change because that's something you will know for yourself. But it's saying change old patterns. It's time to. It's almost like if you know anything about tarot, the Tower moment. You need a little shakeup. You need a little. Uh, you know, what's that Jenga game when everything falls to you need to rearrange some things, rearrange some energy. I just felt like also, sorry, I get tingles sometimes when they're like, yes. Rearranging furniture is what I got, and that's when I got my tingles. Rearranging furniture, switching up, maybe look into feng shui, but there's some energy changes that you need to make, energetic changes you need to make, not only with your spiritual being, but I think with your surroundings. And again, this says follow the light. So once you start trusting in spirit, trusting in, you know, we can say elementals, but trust the trust in divine timing and divine knowledge and all this, you will, you might not physically see a light, but energetically you're going to be led in the right direction, as soon as you start making the decision to change up your energy. Sorry, I couldn't be more clearer than that because it's a lot coming at me right now, to be honest with you. Some changing up your energies. So, but it's a in for good. It's good. You have good things coming your way. So
I agree. And
there's my babble.
she says, love it. Thank you. I collect rocks and they're all over the house and garden. Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's great, Pixie
Mhm.
5280. And that's brilliant suggestion there with the feng shui or moving around furniture or just rearranging something, putting different curtains up. I mean, get a different tablecloth out, just something to stir up from that stagnant energy. Just doesn't have to be a lot, just change the what's
Switch out a
in your.
picture in the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Um, Thank you, Pixie. Thank you. It was really nice meeting you. Thank you for coming. And it was a little, uh, went around the corner to get there, right? Um,
Exactly.
it
I
was a little
followed the
bit,
light.
yeah. And I think that might be where you're feeling. So I think that's going to do it. It is quarter after. I don't see Leona. Leona, we'll catch you on the next one. And
Mhm.
thank you very much, Ginger.
Thank you, Jean.
I really enjoy reading with you. You never know what you're going to get. And the mind blowing possibilities are here again today. And there was so much fun. You guys, thank you so much for asking such really important, interesting, and really
It
beautiful
makes a
questions.
difference.
It is really just, we wouldn't be able to sit here and do it without you. Honestly, you guys really feed us, and your questions, when you ask the question, like if you say, "Were you a human?" I mean, that's just crazy. Who thinks of that? Like you just never know what's going to
No
come out.
question is too silly.
Exactly. Exactly. And especially when I'm here with Ginger. We you never know where a hair tie is going to
For
turn
the
up, right?
challenge.
Yeah. So let me just tell you real quick.
Yes.
I had I had a private reading, and then at the end of the private reading or second half, she said, "Can I tune into a past life?" And I wanted. I mean, this was so impactful. I want to ask her if I can share the actual development of it. I first saw her walking uh, on a cobblestone street, but when she walked, she was kicking her skirt, a skirt, like so. I could see as she walked, it kicked her skirt, so it was a long skirt, and I could see that she had a high collar neck, so it looked like maybe
Ooh.
1800s with the skirt and the neck. And um, I saw her going to work, and I saw her sort of with a big giant stick stirring a boiling pot of water. And inside the boiling pot of water were sheets and laundry. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I think you worked at a laundromat, like I'm like, I don't know, maybe you worked, I think there was like laundry, you were in a laundromat or something. And then the next thing you know, I see her in a hospital where she's helping patients and working with doctors. And I thought, and it was like dim and dark, and I could see that the type of building when she was stirring, I could see the glass window behind her and the style of architecture. I said, it looks like that you are in the cobblestone streets. I said, it seems like you're in the UK somewhere, like in London or England somewhere. And I said, but you were by a seaside. So I said, maybe Cornwall or something. And I got the date of 1853. And it's
Hmm.
not like I tried, just that date came to me. It was almost like falling out of my mouth. I don't even know why I said it. Like I wasn't even thinking of a date, but I said it's around the 1850s, like 1853. And she was talking with the doctor, and I know that when we had to sanitize and sterilize all the sheets was when there was an epidemic or an outbreak of some sort. And so I also got, I think I still have typhoid fever. And
Oh.
I said, maybe it was typhoid fever. I said, and I've got that her husband had gotten sick and died.
Oh.
She got sick but didn't die. So she was like immune and was able to work around all of these people. And I was like freaking out. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my God. And I could feel the way she felt when she was there, the desperate feeling.
Wow.
And then I saw her like talking to the doctor and working with the doctor, and so on and so forth. And it was just so amazing, so detailed. You never know what you're going to get. And Um, and just to give you a little bit of background, this client of mine that I did a private reading for is in the medical field, and she
Oh,
does work as an assistant to doctors. And
wow.
I know, and I said, I hope and pray that you never have to deal with another epidemic. But if you do, know that you already know how to do it, and you've been there before. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm telling
Oh,
you, if anybody's ever interested in past life readings, it is it is really some of the most, I mean, and it just boggles my mind. But to tell you the truth, what I did was I went to look in England in 1853, was there a typhoid outbreak? And they said no. So I said, it was there any outbreaks? And they said it was cholera. And I asked my pendulum, I said, was it cholera? And it started swinging like this. So
wow.
I got typhoid because my guides are telling me epidemic,
Uh-huh,
but
uh-huh.
and that's just probably what I know, and I would not have thought of cholera, you know?
Right,
I'm like,
right.
"Is it cholera?" I'm like, "Oh, cholera." Like, I looked it up and I saw it, and I'm like, "Oh, cholera." So I asked, my pendulum, "Was it the cholera out?" Yes. And you would not look up, outbreaks in England in the
Oh,
1850s. There were so
would
many.
not want to be there.
Mhm, mhm. It was amazing. So, I just wanted to share that, but thank you all very much, for listening. It was really interesting, very interesting and profound, and you can see me freak out in real time. I'm gonna see if I can do it. If she doesn't wanna, well, she'll have to, but, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can, 'cause it was an amazing one. One of the more, and the thing is, it's not just that it was amazing, it was after. I was it was lingering. It lingered with me for, like, 2 or 3
Oh,
days, and I was, really sort of still worrying about those people because I saw
oh,
her there. It was really the emotion and the connection was just so strong. So,
I
but yeah,
wonder if you were in that same past life era along with that is why you felt it and it stayed with you. Could
that
be.
I'm gonna ask that from now on, Ginger. That is brilliant. Was I in this past life with you? Because all
And
of
were
my
you a patient?
Yep, that's what I think too.
Ooh, I'm getting
Uh,
some tingles.
mhm. And it's very investigative, and I know that you love that too, Ginger, the investigative part of it.
Not me.
And I just had to go to the Google and find out because it was driving. I needed to know more to put the picture together so that I would understand.
I'm
But
feeling strongly you were because I'm getting all kinds of tingles when I said that. Maybe you were in that
because
same
it affected me so deeply, and I
Mhm.
felt like I was there with
I
her.
had another rush too.
And
So
I mean, I tell you, I have my eyes closed, but I wish I could let you guys see what I'm seeing, the movie that's coming through. And it's only like a flash of somebody walking, a flash of a cobblestone. It's not like I can see her walking. It's
right,
like I
right.
can feel it, you know? But it was amazing. So, but thank
Mhm.
you guys for listening and for
It
hanging
is
out. Thank
amazing.
you again, Ginger, for your
Thank
amazing
you. Loving
readings.
yours. Your readings are always so inspiring and informative, and I could just envision everything you're envisioning while you're
Oh,
telling the story. I love it. I love reading with you.
yep, yep, we're connected. And you guys let me know if you guys can see and feel and sense when I'm describing stuff because that's like a type of telepathy, I think, that we can
Clairvoyant.
share in that. And it's
Mhm.
becoming more and more frequent. And but thanks again, everybody. And I will see you
I,
again real soon. And actually, I'll be back later on this afternoon with the Terry Lee and Terry Suzuki for
oh,
the psychic triad, and I'm looking forward to that. And Ginger, where will you be next?
I'm going to take a little break. Um, but let's see. I have something planned somewhere. Um, oh, I think this is July. On the 20th, Jean and I have a Celtic Mysteries planned.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
So
do, and that's in a couple of weeks. Yep.
yeah, so
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah,
So if
so
you all
yeah.
like to do investigations and uncover mysteries, please join us. We'd love to have you. And it's
It's
always exciting with you, Miss Gingerfae.
oh,
So,
and all
all right,
right.
everybody. Thanks
Bye,
again.
everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you enjoy this content, hit like, share, and subscribe. Remember to click the bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks again. Bye.